All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rick Phillips for CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and also for WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. Tonight we've got Quaker basketball. We've got the Quaker men, and they will be taking on Defiance. That game will get underway here in about 4.5 minutes. We have tonight's play-by-play announcer, Alan King, from the girls basketball team, going to be doing our play-by-play tonight, along with Joe Davis. And, of course, everybody knows Jumpin' Joe, right, Joe?
Right.
All right, so are we ready, Alan?
We are ready.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to our broadcast crew, and let's have a good game.
I will try to teach Alan a little bit about basketball tonight, so he'll be able to do a good job.
I'm hoping to learn a few things tonight, Joe, that I can take back with me to the women's team, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out some of these complex things that you have going on.
Your predecessor before you, I taught him a lot before he went up.
Are we talking about Charlie?
No. No, not that predecessor. The one that...
Are we talking about Coach Sheevy?
No, the one that went up north, a little tiny short kid.
Little tiny short kid? Okay. I don't know who that is, but anyway, all right.
Alan knows him.
All right.
Scott Rule.
Scott Rule.
There you go. All
the
right.
one and the only Scott Rule. Well, hey, tonight we have men's basketball here. The Quakers 2-2 versus the Yellow Jackets, also 2-2. Both teams coming in off of losses. The Quakers have played really well to begin the season, led by senior guard Christian Jones. Christian averaging about 17 points a game. Great shooter, really unselfish. Coach Hunt, before the season, said he had to kind of be that alpha dog, and he has been exactly that with this basketball team. Quakers led by quite a few upperclassmen. Will Patrick, their second leading scorer, tied for their second leading scorer. He's also averaging 13 a game, does a lot of things, great defender. Will just brings a lot of energy. And then you also have Nathan Scott, who's averaging 13.3 points a game. Nathan, a local boy, a Fayetteville boy, I believe. Or actually, DJ's the Fayetteville guy. But anyways, Nathan Scott does a great job with the basketball in hand, but he's a knockdown shooter. You can't leave him. He finds a lot of ways to score. Then DJ Isles, the leader of this basketball team with the ball in his hands. You always want, as a coach, a reliable point guard, and DJ is exactly that. He's a guy that takes care of the basketball, runs the team, and can score when he needs to score.
That's what you want in a point guard, a guy that runs the team, but if everything else is not there, can score and shake the other team up so they can't just fall back and not worry about it.
And DJ, he's been battling some injuries here to begin the season, so his minutes have been a little bit limited, but I think they're ready for DJ to have a big game tonight. And again, he's going to be that floor leader. Like you said, he does a lot of those other things as well, but then when it's time and they need him, he can get his own at any time.
Well, that's one thing a boy coming out of high school sometimes doesn't comprehend when he goes to college, is the fact that most kids, that when they go to college, every one of them was the starter, the guy. Then when you get to a college team, you all can't be the guy. So you want the guy with the ball handler, the guy, the leader, the general. He's not going to be a scorer usually. He's going to be the guy that's going to dish it out to your scorers. But then when they slack, when they're defensed up, well, then take it, boom, put it in the hole, and then force the defense back open to the other players. And to get a player to do that, to be unselfish enough to feed the other players, that's when you've got a real true player, and DJ.
And that's when you start having a basketball team as well, Joe. Yes. And like you said, you hit the nail on the head. DJ does all of those other things, and he understands his role and understands when to do those other things. And then for the Defiance Yellow Jackets, again, coming in at 2-2. They're led by Devontae Kinney, who's averaging 15.5 points a game. And then they also have, again, Kewan Graham, and this is my first opportunity to see these guys, so all I have is stats on these guys, but he's averaging 10.5 a game. And then they have a host of guys at that 9 or 8. Randall Atkins Jr. averaging 9. Noah Goodrich, 8.5. Jonathan Ragland, 8.5. So they have a whole bunch of guys. Jordan Machino, and I hope I say that name right. That's a tough one. Quite a few guys, averaging right around the 8. So they look like they're a balanced team, balanced scoring. And that always makes it tough to go against a team where there's not just that one guy that's just going to go get his, and you got a lot of different people. You've already mentioned it with DJ. Looks like we're going to have a fun, exciting game to watch tonight.
I agree.
So here they're getting ready. to announce not only the starting lineups, but before that, I believe we're about to have the national anthem. So we will take one moment, and we will send it down to our PA guy down here and listen as they announce and do the national anthem.
Sportsmanship by student-athletes, coaches, and spectators. Your cooperation is requested by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions may be directed at officials, the student-athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Your officials for tonight's game, Mr. Mo Kincaid, Mr. Brad Kelly, and Mr. Danny Frank. Fans are fortunate to live in a great country, able to enjoy many freedoms like no other. At this time, we ask you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats for the sake of our national anthem. And performing the anthem tonight, Wilmington College, Miss Brandy James.
And that is Brandy James, Wilmington College student. Joe, if you haven't had a chance to hear her sing, which I'm sure you have, being at these games, she has a fantastic voice. So they're going to go down for the starting lineups. Joe, as we're getting ready to hear these starting lineups, what do you think the key to the game for the Quakers is tonight?
Well, without knowing Defiance, what they're doing, one is defense, not letting them transition, set up, keeping the ball outside. One shot, nothing more than one shot. Boxing out, keeping the ball, and getting down the floor. I think that's the key. Of course, in your offense, of course, but giving the other team, their one shot, getting the ball, getting back down the court. I think Wilmington will score. I don't think they'll have a problem setting up their score, but it's stopping the other team from scoring.
And the Quakers, they do have a little bit smaller lineup, so as you mentioned, always those controlling the boards is going to be a little more difficult. But hey, it's about boxing out and how bad you want it, right?
Well, right, and that's why I think it's going to be. When you say why it's important, I think that's why that's even more important. Is when you're outside, is the only giving them that one shot, and whether you're 6'5" and the other guy is 6 foot, boxing out, it doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter. It's being in position, which you're well aware of.
So let's set the starting lineups here. Number 5, DJ Isles, a 5'10" guard from Fayetteville, Ohio. He'll be starting at the point. Number 10, Jordan Jones, a 6-foot senior guard, will be starting on the wing here. Christian Jones, number 2, a 6'1" senior from Hamilton, Ohio, going to be at the shooting guard position. Number 14, Andrew Russell, a 6'5" junior from Columbus area, is going to be the center. And number 25, Nathan Scott from Eastern High School, he will be at that 4 spot. So here we go. We're going to jump it off. Andrew Russell going to be able to tip that basketball out of bounds, and we are going to re-jump. So we're going to get a chance to restart this game. Again, Russell going against number 12, Anton Wheeler. And again, a second tip out of bounds. It's going to be white basketball here. So Wilmington taking control. They get the first offensive opportunity.
I've noticed the clock's not started, but the clock starts at the tip. It should have already went off the first one and being moved again, but that's relative.
Quakers out in their motion offense. Little cross screen and tipped out of bounds. It'll be Quakers ball underneath with 22 seconds left on the shot clock.
And in difference, the boys have the green three-point line, while the girls have the white green-point line in college basketball.
And we have our first basket of the game. Andrew Russell with a nice little duck in, and he gets fouled. Going to go for a and one here. Russell will go to the free throw line. Quakers take a quick 2-0 lead.
Old-fashioned three-point play possible coming up.
And, Joe, I hate to have to correct you this early in the broadcast, but we actually also on the women's side now use the green line.
I was wondering.
We
but,
do.
It's still there, so I thought maybe I thought Jerry said that, but when I was at the tournament, I thought I saw him behind the three-point line, the white line, and giving them a three during the tournament. So I stand corrected. Thank you.
Yeah. Russell makes the free throw, and immediately
yes.
DJ Isles with the steal. He is going back in transition, misses the layup. Defiance back with the ball, coming back in attack mode. And that is Kewan Graham attacking and scoring and getting to the free throw line. So far, we've seen an up-and-down game, and I think we're going to continue to see that. The Quakers with the early 3-2 lead on the three-point play by Russell, and we have our second three-point play opportunity on the second possession. So Kewan Graham, the freshman guard out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, at the free throw line, and his shot is up and good. So tied 3-3 after just 30 seconds of play. Isles brings the ball across the court. And again, a little diagonal screen here, and Russell's been open on that screen. Good job of cutting him off. C.J. Jones back with the basketball. Little kick out to Isles. Isles deep three, just short. Jordan Jones with the rebound. And we have a stoppage of clock. I believe the shot clock reset, but that was an air ball. So they're going to give the Quakers the possession of the basketball underneath the basket.
Came out, they got lucky right there on that play because they did get the rebound, but it was more of a catch throw, and this way they got the ball and got it set back up.
So Russell with the ball on the post. He's backing him down. Nice little spin move, able to go up, and he shoots it over the backboard. Number 10, Jonathan Ragland with the rebound.
Looked like he shot for the foul that time instead of the shot.
And that'll be a three for Defiance from Ragland.
Nice shot. Yeah, I've seen guys go up. Instead of going up for the shot, they go up and then try to shoot into the player to get that foul, but then they'd miss the shot.
Again, the Quakers running their motion spread offense. Jones from deep, and he is a little bit off. Defiance with the rebound. And again, here comes Kinney pushing the ball aggressively, and he's headed straight to the basket and throws it out of bounds.
Yeah. I thought he went up for a high shot, but he's actually throwing to the corner, but threw it too high.
So it'll be Quakers ball. DJ Isles calling out the set and handing off to C.J. Jones. A little quick reversal. And we're going to have a hand check call there. The first foul on Jordan Machino.
And I understand because I'm a referee, the hand check thing. But, sometimes they let them really play ball. And other times that's a hand check. It's like I'd like to see consistency. And the trouble is you call it too close, then you got to do it the whole game like that.
And that was actually Jordan Machino's second foul. So we'll see how that affects this basketball game here. And it looks like the Quakers are going into Russell a lot here. A nice kick out. DJ Isles just with a miss from deep. So the Quakers are cold from deep so far tonight. Breakout for Russell. Russell trying to control it and unable to do so before it's out of bounds. It will be the Yellow Jackets basketball.
Threw a lead pass to him, but I could tell the player coming up beside him had more speed, and I knew that was going to be interesting.
So the Quakers will be picking up here in a full court press. Little denial action. And a tough pass in. Isles able to steal it. Gets the basketball up, and no foul, but a rebound by Isles. Quakers no reset on the shot clock, so there's still 21 seconds here in the possession.
Oh, bad pass.
Nice steal there by Kewan Graham, and he is going in for the dunk and misses it. Jones with the
that's out.
Pass ahead, but it is tipped away.
If you're going up for the dunk, you can't miss that.
No, looked like he left a little bit early there on the dunk. unable to finish it. So we have our first substitutions for the Quakers. Colin Myers, number 30, a 6'4" freshman post player. He's stepping in, and number 24, G. Shea Mercer. Here's Jones with the basketball. Nice little step back move. Going to be a 2, and he is just off. Again, Graham with the ball. He's bringing the ball down the right side of the floor.
It's been 6 to 3 for quite a while.
So a little cold shooting here to start. And tip away. Defiance basketball. DJ Isles with the steal.
Can you hear me?
I cannot.
Because I can't hear you either. We can't hear each other.
Shea Mercer, he's up and misses, gets his own rebound, puts it back, and Colin Myers could not corral that, and Defiance is off and running. And here we go, Kenny on the attack. He's able to pull the basketball back out, looking inside to the post and out to Ragland for 3, and he's just off. Christian Jones with the rebound, and the Quakers are off and running. DJ now slowing it down, wanting to run a little something. As you said, have not been able to get some scores here these last few possessions. Got to get the ball to Christian Jones. High ball screen. Moving the basketball around the horn here. Jones has it in the corner. Back out now to Christian Jones. And 6 left on the shot clock. DJ Isles attacking. Christian Jones not settling and does a great job driving to the basket there, Joe. He's a great shooter. They were really worried about getting out to him. Did a great job of using that fake and getting to the basket.
And he did a good job of taking it straight to the hole and went right in.
There we go. Now we got it.
So Christian Jones now defending the basketball.
Steal? No, quite. Good hand zone.
Tip away there by Jordan Jones. And so now a trio of Quakers entering the basketball game. And here, this up-tempo style will continue here as we have Kevin Lewis, Will Patrick headed into the basketball game. And they're going to take a real quick break here. 30-second timeout called by Defiance. You know, Joe, they probably called this timeout because they're looking at a group of guys that haven't been playing real well. We're going to take a moment and hear from our sponsors here.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
All right, now.
All right. I noticed he's doing a good job here, getting some fresh blood in here, going up and down, much like Jerry does, using a lot of girls, keeping fresh people on the floor a lot.
And they have 5 guys in that did not start here. G. Shea Mercer defending the basketball right now in the post. And Whitney for Defiance goes up and misses it. Mercer with a nice rebound.
That was very good defense there. He got it in. He was close, but he just didn't give him a good look at the basket.
And Peyton Smith now at the controls, number 11 for the Quakers. He is a sophomore from Purcell Marion High School. We talked earlier about DJ Isles. It's really nice to have a guy like Smith in there as we see a deep 3 from Will Patrick, and it's just off. Defiance corrals the basketball. But it's nice to have a second point guard that can really get out and play, and there Peyton Smith picks up his first personal. Just got a little excited and rode him a little bit there.
Yeah, it gets me when they got their arm out on the guy, and then the referee blows the whistle. Instead of saying, I got my arm on, they look back like, what'd I do? It's like, you know what you did. I'm sorry.
So that'll be the second team foul against the Quakers. Again, the Quakers out picking up their aggressive man-to-man on the line, up the line defense. Myers going to guard the basketball in as Noah Goodrich for Defiance is looking to trigger it in. Randall Atkins Jr. with the basketball. He's moving it, and he has Goodrich for 3. And that is
when he went up, that looked like a good shot, good form.
So with 14:50 left in the first quarter, it is 9-5. Defiance Yellow Jackets over the Quakers. Little back screen action. Andrew Russell with the basketball. Will Patrick now with the ball, moving it to Kevin Lewis. Kevin Lewis kicking back to a wide open Andrew Russell for 3.
Yeah.
And Andrew Russell is a great shooter. You cannot give him that much space.
It looked like it was going in as soon as he let go of it. It was just perfect.
Really nice attack and kick by Kevin Lewis. Ball ahead here. Ragland on the move, and he's going to throw it over, and we have an over-the-back call here on Demons Whitney from Defiance.
I think Kevin Lewis got away with a little push with the body going up there. I think he was, luckily for him, blocked by, the official didn't get a good look at him because of the other defender in front playing good D, and he bodied him, but we got away with one. We'll take it.
So the Quakers looking to pick up a little pace here. Really have been kind of stagnant offensively here until the last few possessions. Reversing the basketball here.
Well, they can take the lead here.
Nathan Scott for three,
and
there
it
is in. And so the Quakers have their first lead of the game, 11-9 with 14 minutes left on the clock. Defiance quickly back to the other end. Again, Atkins with the basketball, moving it around to Thomas.
You can tell they're in trouble because for them the score is 9-1-1.
Oh, come on, Joe.
And a nice block there by Peyton Smith. Nathan Scott corrals the rebound, throws it ahead to Will Patrick. Will Patrick looking to attack. And now looking to run a little offense, reversing the basketball to Lewis, again to Smith. Andrew Russell now a skip pass over to Will Patrick, and he is just off. Just a little long there. And so now again an attack, and there will be Smith's second foul there. He just got a little too much arm on that one there.
Did he get? I thought maybe I didn't see him hit him, but he probably did. But I mean, it looked to me like he forced the guy to push the ball a little harder and lost control. But maybe it's because he got him on the arm that from this angle I couldn't see.
I can't believe a former official would be questioning an official and a coach would be defending an official, but I think Joey might have bumped him a little bit. So it's Defiance ball underneath the basket. And the Quakers do a good job. Will Patrick with the tip. He's got a steal, and he is up for the layup, which gets blocked. But Kevin Lewis with the hops and a follow.
Kevin Lewis, great follow-up. Great gate defense that tipped the ball away, but good job. Kevin Lewis was there.
And the Quakers have a nice trap in the backcourt, and they have a man in trouble, and he's able to get the ball out.
And another steal.
And it's close to a 10-second, and it is a 10-second call there.
Good defense.
Ball was still in the air.
Yep. It's not until it's touched, and it was not touched.
So it'll be the Quakers ball at half court here. And again, we have DJ Isles back in at the controls for the Quakers. Just a minute ago, Kevin Lewis with the follow. He is not a tall young man, but he can get up, Joe. That young man, he can dunk with the best of them. He can jump with the best of them. It's Quakers ball. Will Patrick at the top of the circle, and he attacks and gets right to the basket for two. The Quakers now with a 15-9 lead. Defiance ball. Graham looking again inside to number 5, Demonis Whitney. Excuse me, that is number 12, Anton Wheeler, and he is able to get the basketball. No, rebounded by Will Patrick. Will Patrick pitching the ball ahead to DJ Isles. DJ into Andrew Russell, and he's going to go to work with his back to the basket. And very close to traveling, able to get it out. Will Patrick for three.
I was watching that foot from it being official. He did not move it, so good job.
Real good job of not anticipating that by the officials.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
And an attack there by Defiance, able to tip it away, but he does a good job of getting it back, and gets a second opportunity, and he is fouled. I believe it's going to be on Nathan Scott. So Kewan Graham with multiple efforts there to get the rebound.
I don't think they do, but I'm going to ask you, do the boys have the same foul thing that the girls have at 5 fouls?
They do not. They are still the 10-team fouls, 7, and they go into the 1-and-1.
I thought it was, but I wanted to clarify before I made a remark.
Yep, the last game. Or the last season, the women's rules changed and the men's stayed the same. So 20-minute clock.
I wish they'd put I wish men's rules,
women's rules would be the same.
I don't. When it's basketball, it's like going back to the old days when the girls wore, bottom pants and stuff, and only went half court and. They play basketball, so let's play the same. Let's play the same rules.
And Kewan Graham good on both free throws, so it's now 18-11. Quakers lead with 11:50 left on the clock. The Quakers got to run a quick little set, a nice cross screen. Christian Jones in a down screen then for DJ Isles. Isles attacking the basket, gets the ball tipped. Nice rebound there by number 30, Goodrich. Quickly, Defiance down the court, and Will Patrick rejects that shot. And Will Patrick Doing a little extracurricular there afterwards after the block, and he's going to get talked to by the official.
Little chippiness there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I saw 4 steps in there. So.
Hey, Joe, when you were talking about, the old days, what was it, like when you played with peach baskets?
Yeah, back when I played with the peach baskets.
That's what I thought.
Well, I tell you what, when I was in high school and the girls played at phys ed, that's what they only went to half court and all this kind of stuff. It's like now then they started playing. In high school you played basketball rules, both boys and girls, and now we're going some with high college where they changed now the green. The 3-point shot is the same, but then there's some things that are this is for the boys, this is for the girls. I don't think it should be that way. I think if you play basketball, you play basketball.
And so it's Defiance ball again out underneath the basket. Looking for a man to pitch it into, and the Quakers have done a great job of taking them out of their out-of-bounds underneath sets. And again, it's Graham on the attack, and he is a tough guy to stop. Gets all the way to the basket for 2 for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, it looked like Will Patrick was afraid of picking up a foul there. He could have stepped over and took the charge or forced him to not come in, and he just sort of put the arm out there like, I'm afraid to.
Jones attacking.
Nice,
CJ
nice.
Jones with a nice
no
scoop
foul, but
and
good
score.
Drive.
And now Defiance is on the attack, and DJ Isles chasing. And a nice little layup put up and missed. And then the putback attempt by number 12, Antoine Wheeler, and he gets fouled by number 3, Will Patrick. So that will be Patrick's.
I don't know if this is their whole team's design or if it's just that player, but boy, when he gets it, he just goes down the middle for a goal.
Well, Graham and Kinney, they are looking to attack in the full court, that is for sure. And when they get into the half court, they are looking to get and attack the basket. So we will have Wheeler at the line, and the first one is up and good. So again, with 10:56, it is 20-14, Wilmington leading the Yellow Jackets. In the second attempt here for Wheeler. Wheeler, and it's up, and it is good. Friendly rim away from home.
Friendly rim there. And here we got another timeout. We'll go to a commercial. Well, we will if I can find which. He never showed me where it was.
It's the one in the center, Joe.
Top center?
Top center. It's almost too late now, Joe.
Yeah, I'm pushing it. Nothing happened.
So we're
it
back
touchscreen?
here with live action here from the Quakers. Defiance, it'll be Wilmington's ball in the full court. Wilmington leading 20-15 with 10:56 left on the clock. We've had kind of an up and down game here, Joe, so far. Yeah. Wilmington looking to push the basketball, looking to attack defensively, and again, DJ Isles is at the point here, leading, and Christian Jones now with a little screen, a little kick. No call. DJ Isles back with the basketball.
Because kick has got to be a kick, and if you're standing there and the ball bounces off your leg, that is not a kick. So it was a good no call.
Colin Myers with the basketball. Now with 10 on the shot clock, it's Will Patrick. Will Patrick looking to attack, and he is able to get all the way to the basket. A nice little scoop.
Went by 3 guys.
And here goes Kinney again on the attack. He is a one-man wrecking crew, and he gets fouled by Patrick. That will be Patrick's second foul. That's going to be a big foul here for the Quakers because Patrick has been a jolt of energy off the bench. So we have Jordan Jones. Looks like he is going to check in for Will Patrick here in between shots. Kinney going to the line for his first attempt, and it is up and good. So, Joe, that's a big moment here in this game with 10:23 less in the first half. Will Patrick picking up his second foul.
You think he'll stay out the rest of the half, or?
Well, there's a lot of different philosophies on that, and I think sometimes as long as you have the lead and you're playing well, you definitely want to. But if things go wrong and a guy like that brings a shot of energy,
you're right. Yeah. If all of a sudden the lead starts going away because you feel like you don't have that leadership, you got to go with him again.
Absolutely. So. It is the Quakers' ball. Colin Myers has the ball at the top of the key. Moving it over to DJ Isles. Christian Jones with the ball. Attacking the basket. Unable. He just gets that ball tipped away, and he's going to pick up a little cheapy foul, and that will put Defiance Yellow Jackets in the bonus. It'll be 1-1. That'll be the team's 7th foul. So real quickly, it went from excuse me, maybe they have already put it up. Nope, it will be the team's 7th foul. So it went really quickly from a 3-3 on the fouls to the Quakers picking up 4 quick ones and a lot of little cheapy ones, Joe. Not fouls if you're Coach Hunt that you're really excited about them picking up.
Right. There's some that are just hustle fouls, and you're glad your team's hustling, and they'll get a foul here and there because of it. But then there's some that's like that play right there. He really shot a bad shot, then tried to make up for it, and then got fouled because he was just trying to.
So it works out for the Quakers there, though, as Whitney misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and Jones with the rebound. Quakers back running their offense. Christian Jones with the basketball at the top of the key. Reverses it to DJ. DJ spin, and he gets it tipped away. And Kinney in for the layup for the Yellow Jackets. So the Quakers have salted away their lead and only up by 3 now.
Yeah, they had, what, a 7-point lead at least, if more. I'm not sure if they had more than that or not. I know one time it was 7.
That ball's tipped out of bounds by Defiance. So in checks number 12, Jalen Horton, a freshman from Pickerington,
14.
As well as Andrew Russell coming back into the basketball game, and
nope,
Shane Mercer headed in. So the Quakers bringing in a lot of new bodies.
I think at one time it was 16-8.
That was an 8-point lead. Okay.
Yeah.
So now Horton at the controls. Moving the basketball around. Again, Horton probably getting a little extra playing time because Peyton Smith and
nice look.
Shea Mercer underneath. Nice little left-handed finish.
I was going to say, don't fake that, because when he was faking the first time, he could have just went straight up. There was nobody there. But luckily, he still came out with it.
Quakers back in their full court press and giving Defiance problems. Andrew Russell working hard. He has a man stopped. Russell, and we have another 10-second call there. Russell did a great job of playing both sides of the court, putting a lot of pressure. The Quakers press has really been working here in this first half.
It's been a long time since I've saw a team get 2 10-second calls in one half. And for them to get 2 in one half this game, their defense is doing very well.
Again, Horton in as Smith has picked up those 2 fouls. C.J. Jones in the middle of the lane, a nice little floater.
You're talking about a nice, friendly rim there.
Now Defiance having trouble getting in, finally do, and Christian Jones pressuring there in the backcourt. They do a real seamless job of switching men there when one jumps and the next man moves over. Christian Jones and Jordan Jones do a good job.
Yeah, it just flows, just perfect.
Ball tipped out of bounds underneath, so it'll be Defiance ball. Struggling again in that underneath position.
Oh, he took 3 steps after he grabbed the ball.
Defiance again on the attack with 14 on the shot clock. Kinney with the basketball, and he shoots a little 15-foot pull-up jumper long.
Not over the back. Oh my
but
God.
A nice job there by Whitney to grab the ball, and he puts it back in with a little hook in the middle of the key. So it's 26-21 Quakers.
Well, saying the same thing about the hand check. Well, the offense is hand checking, which is illegal, but
Jones for 3, but it is waved off on an illegal moving screen by Mercer. And Mercer's asking the official, what did I do wrong there? And
well, at least he's not going over saying, I didn't do it. He's like, I thought I did this. I thought that was okay,
So that is a player control foul, which means there will be no free throws on it, even though they're in the bonus. Defiance ball on the side here. Again, Kinney with the basketball going against Horton. Horton does a good job of almost turning him over. Lucky bounce there to Defiance. And they're attacking. Mercer gets a tip on it, and Russell comes up with the ball. Pitches it ahead to Horton and then to Jones. Jones has the ball on the wings. That's Jordan Jones over to Horton. Horton swings it, finds a wide open Christian Jones. Top of the key 3.
3-point play.
And we have a 3-point play.
Could be a 4. Or could be a 5. He's going to get it out of bounds. It's after the play.
So they are calling 3-pointer good. Number 5, Whitney, with the push-off underneath. He gets the foul, and it'll be Quakers basketball then underneath their own basket for an extra possession. So that must have been a post-possession foul, Joe. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
So Quakers a chance to add to that 8-point lead.
Nice.
Jones, a nice little cut down the middle of the key.
Beautiful move. I got to give KC credit on that, because you can tell that was drawn up that way and worked. Oh, nice defense.
And the Quakers been very active here in the first half. Jordan Jones getting a hand on it. We're now at a 10-point lead for the Quakers, the largest lead of the game with 7:31 left in the first half.
Hell, just a minute ago it was back down to 3, so they've done a good job.
And we have an illegal screen immediately. Cohen Niles, the freshman post player, comes in and sets an illegal screen on Christian Jones. Jones may get a little acting award there. He let the officials know for sure he got illegally screened, but a good job. Good players do that, Joe.
Yes,
He did get fouled, no doubt, but he made sure the officials knew it.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of guys go, hey, I get screened. I go, well, he didn't touch you. So, as long as if he's touched, it's illegal. So make sure the official knows.
And that ball turned over in the middle of the key, trying to post up to Russell. And here Kinney on the attack again, but Russell is able to tip from behind, and it will be Defiance's ball out of bounds underneath. Russell thought that ball maybe tipped off Kinney, but the officials say no. So with 26 seconds left on that shot clock, again, they have struggled to get the ball in here, Joe, out of bounds underneath.
Yes, they have.
Quakers have done a great job scouting report defense on what they're going to do. A little pitch inside, again to that freshman post player, and a little too active there. So he will be going to the line again. Cohen Niles. Who's that foul going to be called on?
12, I think. Is Horton out there? Well, maybe it's either Horton or 14. Russell.
24, so it is on Mercer.
Oh, Mercer.
Reaching in.
Okay, I'm trying to watch the referee's hands is what I was trying to watch. And
that'll be Mercer's second foul. He stays in the basketball game. A short and
nice up.
That's rebounded by Nathan Scott, who just checked back into the game for Andrew Russell. Christian Jones with the basketball, making a call here. Little pick and roll action, double pick and roll action with Shea. He kicks it out to Horton, wide open three, and just off the back iron, but Shea gets the rebound, and he is going down in a heap.
Yeah. I was worried he's going to call travel there, but yeah, he was fouled. Good call.
Again, 50, Cohen Nyes trying to box out there, and he continued to box out after the rebound, knocking him to the floor.
And the coaches are yelling at the player, not the referee. So.
Kevin Lewis checking into the basketball game for the Quakers. So it'll be their ball out of bounds underneath. Now, conversely, they have been able to score out of bounds underneath. Defiance has struggled out of bounds underneath. Quakers running another set here, bringing Nathan Scott to the basketball from the opposite side. He's going to attack off the dribble and flips the ball up, but unable to get it to go. Pitches ahead to Kinney. Kinney pitches out, and now for number 30, Goodrich, long. Shea Mercer with the rebound. Horton back going the other way. Attacking quickly, and now under control decides to bring the basketball back out.
Looking to see if it was there. Wasn't. Pulled it back out.
Kevin Lewis pulls up for a deep three.
Good shot.
Kevin Lewis for
13-point lead. Asking about Patrick. Now, that answers that question, doesn't it?
And I think he will probably get a chance to sit on the bench for at least a little while longer. So 13-point lead for the Quakers here with 6 minutes left. And that is a three ball, just a little bit long, rebounded by Graham. Graham going to attack the basket and put it back in. Graham has a little bit of a size advantage there over the young Horton.
And Horton was at the spot where if he tried to move to keep him away, he probably got a foul called. So it was the best thing to do what he did.
Quakers ball swinging it around to Mercer. Mercer out to Nathan Scott from 3 steps behind the three-point line and just missed it, rimmed in and out. Defiance with the rebound and attacking, and here comes that man Kinney. And there he goes straight to the basket for a left-handed layup.
4 straight points. They've got to slow him down.
So Defiance on a little bit of run, and when Kinney gets the ball, Joe, there is no doubt where he's headed, and that is straight to the basket. So the Quakers, after those 4 straight points, are going to take a quick 30-second timeout, and we are going to take that timeout with them here. And we are going to hear a word from our sponsor.
106.9 WZAA.
Yeah, I didn't know what time it was.
Jeffersonville.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
And we are back here at Fred Risk Arena in Herman Court. And it'll be the Quakers ball with 5:24 left in the half, 34-25 Quakers lead. DJ Isles checks back into the game at the point. Quakers ball, running a nice little set. They got Isles coming to the top of the key, and he is looking to attack the basket. Finds his man, Jordan Jones, underneath. Jones kicks it out to Russell. Russell kicks it back to Jones. Jones looking to attack. 6 on the shot clock. Nathan Scott with the basketball, and he is going to nice left-handed drive and finish with his right.
Excellent move.
Nathan Scott, an excellent scorer. Young man knows what to do when he gets the basketball in his hands. DJ Isles picking up the full court pressure, doing a good job putting pressure on Atkins Jr. Atkins into the middle of the key. He's going to shoot a little left-handed shot. Russell rebounds the basketball for the Quakers, and the Quakers are off and running with DJ.
Good rebound by Russell.
Quakers moving the ball around the horn quickly. Andrew Russell to the left corner for 3.
There,
Rims in
man.
and out.
Thought it was there.
And here
Around.
Yellow Jackets on the attack. Nice little scoop and score by Kewan Graham. So again, Graham and Kinney, when they get the basketball, Joe, they are looking to attack that basket relentlessly. Isles, being that senior point guard leader, decides to slow things down, run a little set. Nathan Scott cutting underneath, and he has him. Scott looking to go baseline.
He stepped out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds.
And he did. So Quakers, it'll be, Yellow Jackets ball in the full court, and the Quakers will be in their full court pressure.
Here comes
Colin Myers checking in, the freshman post player for Nathan Scott here.
30. I could see a 0, and that's all I could see, and I couldn't tell.
And it looks like the Quakers are in a little bit of a zone pressure here, a little 2-2-1 press. Just changing it up, giving him a different look. And Kevin Lewis with the steal, and he goes up for the dunk, and he just lays it in. A little finger roll there at the end.
Nice, smart play. Get the points.
Feet were just a little off there for the dunk. Kevin Lewis.
Up to 11 again.
He can fly, though, that young man. A nice steal. And back again on the attack are the Defiance Yellow Jackets. Graham attacking, now swinging the basketball around to Goodrich. Goodrich over to Ragland. Ragland back to Goodrich. Goodrich for 3.
Russell.
Tipped by Russell. They are able to grab the basketball, stolen away, and Kevin Lewis is on the attack. He has Jones up ahead. Jones in and misses the layup, but he is blocked. So he will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
So we still have an 11-point lead. We're going in for 2. We can get it back up to the high lead of 13 points.
And now with that foul, the Quakers will be in the 1-and-1 on any fouls from here on out. Defiance already in the bonus, and they will be in the double bonus the next time the Quakers foul. Christian Jones checking back in here.
What's good for the second half is Patrick's been able to rest his legs and stay out of foul trouble. So coming back in the second half, he's going to come back with less foul trouble and
they've
rested.
Increased the lead as well when he's been out.
Yes.
So I believe it was a 6.
I don't want to say bad about that.
A 6-point lead, I think, to a 12 now. And Jones makes the first, and he's good with the second as well. And that was Jordan Jones there with the free throws, and Christian Jones now checking in for him. So the Quakers, again, look like they're going to set up in that 2-2-1 press here.
Right. Russell's got a man deep.
Defiance looking to attack, and Colin Myers, quick hands, gets a tip, but they're able to go, and they get the ball across the court.
Almost
tough
stole
pass there. Ragland has the ball in the corner for the Yellow Jackets, and he is attacking Jones into the key. Kicks it out to Barkley. Barkley back to Ragland. Ragland for 3, and just off. Kevin Lewis with the rebound. He pitches ahead to Isles. Isles ahead to CJ. Back to Isles and around to Kevin. The Quakers really moving the ball here. They get it into Colin Myers, and he shoots a little fadeaway. Jump shot.
Fadeaway.
2 points, Colin Myers.
I see the fadeaway a lot anymore.
Been a nice surprise, I think, for Wilmington, the play of Colin Myers this season. And Defiance again on the attack. DJ Isles with nice hands to get it away.
Block.
And then Russell meeting him at the top.
Russell did a good job here getting to shoot over, and DJ then blocked it. And then Russell then blocked that shot. So Russell's playing great defense right now.
And I believe that's his 2nd or 3rd block there. Ragland gets the basketball into the corner, and they're going to swing it around the key. Again, the ball back in Graham's hands. A little high ball screen for Graham. Graham looks, he's second attack, and a nice tip away from Russell, but Graham is able to re-grab the basketball and score it at the basket.
Russell's been very good also of watching that middle and not letting anybody drive down in there a lot when he's down in there, making them go back out. Good defense.
Quakers moving the ball around the horn. Jones trying to attack on a ball screen. He has Russell. Russell underneath, and he gets fouled and blocked both. I think he got fouled twice there, Joe.
I do too. Because I don't think he got called the first time, and then he got called the second time.
So Barkley on the foul, number 24. That is his first personal. And Defiance, we've talked about the Quakers' foul trouble. I think all of Defiance's fouls except for one are on their post players.
Wow.
So
that could, yeah, if you get all their post players in trouble, then that forces them to do a different style of game.
So again, Russell here shooting the second. A 13-point lead for the Quakers with 2:02 left in the half. Russell shots up and good.
Now we got another high lead of the night, 14 points, 29-43.
And Nathan Scott checks into the game for Russell. Scott will immediately come up, and the Quakers are in their man-to-man full-court pressure. DJ Isles unable to keep Kinney in front of him. Kinney attacking the basket, going to kick it out to Ragland. Swinging the basketball around, Barkley looking to attack, and he attacks on Nathan Scott, and that foul will be on Nathan Scott as Barkley attacked. Just a little over-aggressive there by Scott. So we will be a two-shot foul here.
And you look at the player. If he's going in and stretching to get the shot, let him get the shot because he's not shooting in a good position. And then you bail him out by fouling him.
And Barkley misses the first. That is a big foul there because that is Scott's third personal foul. So Mercer will come in for Scott here.
So he definitely will be out the last 152 of this and may even be out the first start of the second half, depending.
Barkley at the line for the second, and the second is true. So again, Quakers lead back to 13. Isles bringing the ball up the court, going to run a little set action. Little UCLA cut from Isles. Christian Jones coming off, looking for Mercer inside, and they were a little too aggressive inside with that post defense. Displacement, Joe, that's a call that has been an emphasis over the last 2 years.
Right, and you don't see it enough as far as I'm concerned.
Especially in the men's game. It's been a very physical game, and Mercer getting moved off, so he's going to the free throw line. This is the last one in the single bonus. Mercer, and a little long there on that. And
he changed these. Wilmington College player changed that official's mind because he was calling it off of his leg, and when he pointed, he goes, "Oh, it must have missed you," and he didn't.
And now we're going to have a conference as to whose basketball it would be out of bounds underneath, and it will stay with the Quakers. So again, they've had a lot of success, especially running that exact play right there with Russell just throwing it straight in. Man, but he is unable to miss the point-blank chippy.
He tried to go right for the basket instead of banking it. If he'd have banked that, I think he'd have been all right.
And Kinney immediately on the attack. He pulls up from 15 feet and knocks down a little jumper. So it's back to an 11-point lead here as the Quakers run a little offense.
Boy, he was open too.
Just missed on a back cut.
Not Will Patrick, but
DJ Isles for three from the top, and Christian Jones tipping it away. It's no good.
When DJ broke through, he was wide open.
Graham back on the attack, and Graham gets blocked by Christian Jones, but he's able to gather it in, and DJ Isles diving in after the basketball. Jones able to pick it up.
Oh, yeah.
He is going to be fouled, and the Quakers are now in the double bonus, so Christian Jones will be going to shoot 2 free throws.
And we can get it back up to 13 points here.
So with 54 seconds left in the half, Christian Jones will be shooting 2 free throws here. It's always a good feeling, Joe, when you have one of the better shooters on your team headed to the free throw line, and Christian Jones, that is what he's known for, that beautiful shot that he has. And the first one is up and pure.
Nice. Will you see that backspin on that shot? Excellent.
He has a beautiful stroke, that is for sure, whether it be from the free throw line, a little floater, or deep from 3. And Jones up with the second, and it is true as well. So the Quakers with 45 now.
I'll tell you what, watching the game and not knowing this team, in the first 5 minutes, I thought Wilmington was in trouble with this, this team because the way they got it went down the floor. But Wilmington defense has played tough, not giving them the easy shot, played good defense, and got a nice lead here. So if they can play solid the second half, this could be a good game.
And a cheap foul there in the backcourt. Kevin Lewis picking that one up, trying to guard Kinney. And Kinney misses the first of 2 free throws here.
They started off good, but lately they have been questionable in their free throws. I don't know if their legs are getting tired or.
Kinney's second one is up, and it is good. Christian Jones now taking the ball out, giving it to DJ with 50 seconds left here. Question is, will the Quakers go 2 for 1, or are they just going to run a solid possession? DJ Isles attacking like he's going to go 2 for 1, kicks it out to Kevin Lewis, yes! And it is good for 3.
15-point lead is the high lead of the night now.
Graham attacking back to Kinney. Kinney now with the second attack, and he is going all the way to the basket by Colin Myers, and the Quakers grab it, throw it out of bounds off of their fingers.
Throwing it to Isles, but Isles was moving to go get the ball and threw it straight to him. But that's right. That's good hustle play.
And they are going to turn the shot clock off, so there will just be 25.5 left here in the first half. Most likely, the Yellow Jackets will go for the last possession of the half if they can get the ball.
Oh, yes!
And he throws it over the head of Barkley. Barkley throws it over the head of Wheeler.
That was really in favor of them, because if he had not went out of bounds, Russell had layup on that ball because he was going after him and just going to go in with a straight layup, but it went out of bounds, so Wilmington has to set a play up now. Wilmington will probably go for 1 here.
And they're going to have the ball in Kevin Lewis's hands. Then back to DJ Isles here with 12 left on the clock. Jones coming to grab the basketball for the last 10 seconds. He's going to run a high ball screen with Andrew Russell, and a little chippy foul there on Alante Wheeler. And Alante Wheeler, if I'm correct, that's his 3rd. It might only be his second. It's his second. So Alante Wheeler, again, another one of those post players, though, for Defiance with a couple fouls.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rick Phillips for CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and also for WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. Tonight we've got Quaker basketball. We've got the Quaker men, and they will be taking on Defiance. That game will get underway here in about 4.5 minutes. We have tonight's play-by-play announcer, Alan King, from the girls basketball team, going to be doing our play-by-play tonight, along with Joe Davis. And, of course, everybody knows Jumpin' Joe, right, Joe?
Right.
All right, so are we ready, Alan?
We are ready.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to our broadcast crew, and let's have a good game.
I will try to teach Alan a little bit about basketball tonight, so he'll be able to do a good job.
I'm hoping to learn a few things tonight, Joe, that I can take back with me to the women's team, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out some of these complex things that you have going on.
Your predecessor before you, I taught him a lot before he went up.
Are we talking about Charlie?
No. No, not that predecessor. The one that...
Are we talking about Coach Sheevy?
No, the one that went up north, a little tiny short kid.
Little tiny short kid? Okay. I don't know who that is, but anyway, all right.
Alan knows him.
All right.
Scott Rule.
Scott Rule.
There you go. All
the
right.
one, the only Scott Rule. Well, hey, tonight we have men's basketball here. The Quakers 2-2 versus the Yellow Jackets, also 2-2. Both teams coming in off of losses. The Quakers have played really well to begin the season, led by senior guard Christian Jones. Christian averaging about 17 points a game. Great shooter, really unselfish. Coach Hunt, before the season, said he had to kind of be that alpha dog, and he has been exactly that with this basketball team. Quakers led by quite a few upperclassmen. Will Patrick, their second leading scorer, tied for their second leading scorer. He's also averaging 13 a game, does a lot of things, great defender. Will just brings a lot of energy. And then you also have Nathan Scott, who's averaging 13.3 points a game. Nathan, a local boy, a Fayetteville boy, I believe. Or actually,
Sardinia.
DJ's
Sardinia,
the Fayetteville guy. But anyways, Nathan Scott does a great job with the basketball in hand, but he's a knockdown shooter. You can't leave him. He finds a lot of ways to score. Then DJ Isles, the leader of this basketball team with the ball in his hands. You always want, as a coach, a reliable point guard, and DJ is exactly that. He's a guy that takes care of the basketball, runs the team, and can score when he needs to score.
That's what you want in a point guard, a guy that runs the team, but if everything else is not there, can score and shake the other team up so they can't just fall back and not worry about it.
And DJ, he's been battling some injuries here to begin the season, so his minutes have been a little bit limited, but I think they're ready for DJ to have a big game tonight. And again, he's going to be that floor leader. Like you said, he does a lot of those other things as well, but then when it's time and they need him, he can get his own at any time.
Well, that's one thing. A boy coming out of high school sometimes doesn't
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rick Phillips for CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and also for WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. Tonight we've got Quaker basketball. We've got the Quaker men, and they will be taking on Defiance. That game will get underway here in about 4.5 minutes. We have tonight's play-by-play announcer, Alan King, from the girls basketball team, going to be doing our play-by-play tonight, along with Joe Davis. And, of course, everybody knows Jumpin' Joe, right, Joe?
Right.
All right, so are we ready, Alan?
We are ready.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to our broadcast crew, and let's have a good game.
I will try to teach Alan a little bit about basketball tonight, so he'll be able to do a good job.
I'm hoping to learn a few things tonight, Joe, that I can take back with me to the women's team, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out some of these complex things that you have going on.
Your predecessor before you, I taught him a lot before he went up.
Are we talking about Charlie?
No. No, not that predecessor. The one that...
Are we talking about Coach Sheevy?
No, the one that went up north, a little tiny short kid.
Little tiny short kid? Okay. I don't know who that is, but anyway, all right.
Alan knows him.
All right.
Scott Rule.
Scott Rule.
There you go. first. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rick Phillips for CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and also for WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. Tonight we've got Quaker basketball. We've got the Quaker men, and they will be taking on Defiance. That game will get underway here in about 4.5 minutes. We have tonight's play-by-play announcer, Alan King, from the girls basketball team, going to be doing our play-by-play tonight, along with Joe Davis. And, of course, everybody knows Jumpin' Joe, right, Joe? He's going to do the intro first. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rick Phillips for CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and also for WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. Tonight we've got Quaker basketball. We've got the Quaker men, and they will be taking on Defiance. That game will get underway here in about 4.5 minutes. We have tonight's play-by-play announcer, Alan King, from the girls basketball team, going to be doing our play-by-play tonight, along with Joe Davis. And, of course, everybody knows Jumpin' Joe, right, Joe?
Right.
All right, so are we ready, Alan?
We are ready.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to our broadcast crew, and let's have a good game.
I will try to teach Alan a little bit about basketball tonight, so he'll be able to do a good job.
I'm hoping to learn a few things tonight, Joe, that I can take back with me to the women's team, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out some of these complex things that you have going on.
Your predecessor before you, I taught him a lot before he went up
Are we talking
north.
about Charlie?
No. No, not that predecessor. The one that...
Are we talking about Coach Sheevy?
No, the one that went up north, the little tiny short kid.
Little tiny
Okay.
short kid? Okay. I don't know who that is, but anyway, all right.
Alan knows him.
All right.
Scott Rule.
Scott Rule.
There you go. All
The
right.
one, the only Scott Rule. Well, hey, tonight we have men's basketball here. The Quakers 2-2 versus the Yellow Jackets, also 2-2. Both teams coming in off of losses. The Quakers have played really well to begin the season, led by senior guard Christian Jones. Christian averaging about 17 points a game. Great shooter, really unselfish. Coach Hunt, before the season, said he had to kind of be that alpha dog, and he has been exactly that with this basketball team. Quakers led by quite a few upperclassmen. Will Patrick, their second leading scorer, tied for their second leading scorer. He's also averaging 13 a game, does a lot of things, great defender. Will just brings a lot of energy. And then you also have Nathan Scott, who's averaging 13.3 points a game. Nathan, a local boy, a Fayetteville boy, I believe. Or actually, DJ's the Fayetteville guy. But anyways, Nathan Scott does a great job with the basketball in hand, but he's a knockdown shooter. You can't leave him. He finds a lot of ways to score. Then DJ Isles, the leader of this basketball team with the ball in his hands. You always want, as a coach, a reliable point guard, and DJ is exactly that. He's a guy that takes care of the basketball, runs the team, and can score when he needs to score.
That's what you want in a point guard, a guy that runs the team, but if everything else is not there, can score and shake the other team up so they can't just fall back and not worry about it.
And DJ, he's been battling some injuries here to begin the season, so his minutes have been a little bit limited, but I think they're ready for DJ to have a big game tonight. And again, he's going to be that floor leader. Like you said, he does a lot of those other things as well, but then when it's time and they need him, he can get his own at any time.
Well, that's one thing a boy coming out of high school sometimes doesn't comprehend when he goes to college, is the fact that most kids, that when they go to college, every one of them was the starter, the guy. Then when you get to a college team, you all can't be the guy. So you want the guy with the ball handler, the guy, the leader, the general, he's not going to be a scorer usually. He's going to be the guy that's going to dish it out to your scorers. But then when they slack, when they're defensed up, well, then take it, boom, put it in the hole, and then force the defense back open to the other players. And to get a player to do that, to be unselfish enough to feed the other players, that's when you've got a real true player, and DJ.
And that's when you start having a basketball team as well, Joe.
Yes.
And like you said, you hit the nail on the head. DJ does all of those other things, and he understands his role and understands when to do those other things. And then for the Defiance Yellow Jackets, again, coming in at 2-2. They're led by Devontae Kinney, who's averaging 15.5 points a game. And then they also have, again, Kewan Graham, and this is my first opportunity to see these guys, so all I have is stats on these guys, but he's averaging 10.5 a game. And then they have a host of guys at that 9 or 8. Randall Atkins Jr. averaging 9. Noah Goodrich, 8.5. Jonathan Ragland, 8.5. So they have a whole bunch of guys. Jordan Machino, and I hope I say that name right. That's a tough one. Quite a few guys, averaging right around the 8. So they look like they're a balanced team, balanced scoring, and that always makes it tough to go against a team where there's not just men's basketball here. 50-33 over the visiting Defiance Yellow Jackets at the half.
Nice up-tempo game here for the Quakers. Really like this.
They are really pushing the basketball, really playing a lot of full-court aggressive defense. And a little bit of rundown of the score here. The Quakers are led by CJ, Christian Jones with 15. Will Patrick has 8 in limited minutes. Kevin Lewis has 10. Doing a nice job of also being a spark off the bench. 18 off the bench right there between those two guys alone. Nathan Scott with 5. But also has 3 fouls. Jordan Jones with 2, Andrew Russell with 2, and G. Shea Mercer with 2 points, as well as Colin Myers off the bench with another 2 for the Quakers. So the Quakers really a good half there, spreading the basketball around and spreading the scoring around. And then for the Defiance Yellow Jackets, Kewan Graham with 10 to lead the Yellow Jackets. Devontae Kinney with 9 points. That kind of surprised me, Joe. I thought he had a few more than that, but he has 9 here at the half. Des Moines Whitney, he has 2, and Ragland has 5, and off the bench, Noah Goodrich with 3. Again, a big story in this half, though, will be the Defiance Yellow Jackets post players are in a lot of foul trouble, and the Quakers getting back Will Patrick with only 2 fouls at the end of the half, and Nathan Scott with 3 fouls, and he's going to start this half. It looks like he's out on the court here first. It's going to be important for him to kind of keep himself out of foul trouble, right, Joe?
Yes, exactly. And another thing is, we're spreading the ball around. They've only got 5 guys scoring. If either one of them main guys get in foul trouble, they're in trouble. If that's who they've got to lean on.
And the Quakers again with that aggressive out-of-bounds defense, just making it tough on Defiance. Defiance quickly gets the ball back in the hands of Graham, and they're going to swing it around there. Jordan Machino, he only played about a minute in that first half before he picked up his first 2 fouls. And he catches the ball underneath in the paint and gets it stripped by Andrew Russell, controlling the basketball for the Quakers. And DJ Isles brings the basketball down the court, passes off to Jones.
It's going to be important right here. If Wilmington can score, be the first to score this half, it's going to be a big thing. You already got a big lead. Then if you score, it makes it even harder for a team to come back. When you're behind, you got to score before the other team does or more. And when they're scoring, so the first thing you're doing is just gaining back what you already lost. It makes it harder to come back.
Trying to keep that pressure on the Yellow Jackets. Short shot clock. Nice little pass by Christian Jones to Russell with the finish under the basket.
Excellent no look. Boom.
And you could see the Defiance post player as Russell tips the basketball out of bounds. You could see the Defiance post players, though, really didn't want to be aggressive, didn't want to get that 3rd foul quickly.
Yeah, if they get another foul quickly in this half, they're in deep trouble.
And Ackland checks in for Graham. A quick substitution here for Defiance.
Casey's asking a question, so he got the answer, I think.
They reset the shot clock, and now they're just taking that 1 second off. There had to be something come off. That ball tipped out of bounds.
Correct.
They get the ball into Kenny's hand, and Kenny's going to call a play. Kenny bringing the ball. He's calling for a high ball screen. Rejects the screen. Kicks it to Ragland in the left corner for 3, and he misses. Machado tries to grab the rebound. but tipped out of bounds there by Scott.
And going to get a new shot clock because it did hit the rim.
So here we go. See if Defiance has solved that Quaker out of bounds underneath defense. And it looks like they are going to struggle again. No, they do get the basketball in, and it is tipped away and stolen by DJ Isles. DJ controlling the basketball, pitches it ahead to Jones. Jones ahead to the other Jones, Jordan. Back around the horn, and Christian
nice
Jones
look.
with a nice little back cut for a layup, and a nice job spotting him by Nathan Scott on the assist. And the Quakers look like they have a lot of life in their legs here, a lot of energy. Kenny attacking, gets it stripped, and a second strip by C.J. Jones, and now Jordan Jones on the attack, drops it off to Nathan Scott for the lay-in, and almost certainly Defiance will be calling a timeout, and they do.
Absolutely.
So in the first minute 37, the Quakers have absolutely blitzed the Yellow Jackets here to start this half. Joe, they did exactly what you were talking about. Don't take the foot off the gas, and make sure you know that they're in control of this basketball game.
And like you said, or like I said, when they're there, meaning whoever is behind, when that team is behind, when the team in front of them is scoring, it just it just makes it that much more harder to make a comeback. If they score and you score, you got to score more than them. And Wilmington came out now from a 13-point lead at halftime to 23-point lead. Or was it 15?
I believe
17.
It was 17
17-point lead, but still 17-point lead at halftime to a 23-point lead. So we're gained 3. So now if they get 3 baskets, they're just back to where we were at halftime. So,
and I think what you're trying to say here, too, is defensively, if Defiance wants a chance to get themselves back in this basketball game, they're going to have to do a lot better job of controlling the Quakers. And you know what's been tough is the Quakers, while they've gotten a few nice baskets early on, they've also been able to take time off the clock and then finish at the end of the clock. Really good possession by Defiance, 27 seconds of really good basketball, and then Andrew Russell gets a little feed from Christian Jones for an easy layup. And that kind of opened the floodgates right after that.
And mentally, when you start getting tired, I mean, this half's still early yet, but if they start getting tired and they look up and the score, you're more tired.
It's like a truck rolling downhill. And here Kenny with the basketball, and he's attacking in the full court. He stumbles and bumbles and loses the ball, but Machino able to grab the basketball and put it in.
Well, see, what you're seeing with him is he's trying to do too much. He's trying to go 90 mile an hour instead of 70 mile an hour, but luckily for him, he bumped it right to one of his players.
And Christian Jones with another cut and not able to finish. And on the attack is Atkins. Atkins, a little pull-up jumper from the lefty right in the middle of the key, and a quick 4-0 run by Defiance right out of the gate. So exactly how you would want to come out of a timeout there if you're Defiance.
If you're Defiance, is what you need to do. Get 4 of those points back. Get a little, you're feeling tired. You're feeling, oh my gosh, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden you get 4 points. Now you're more revived. You get a little more air in you.
Nathan Scott for the corner 3, up and no good. Rebound by number 25, Avion Franklin. They pitch the basketball ahead to Barkley. Barkley on the left wing pitches it back around to Atkins. Atkins attacks, and he has it stripped away from DJ Isles. DJ Isles pitches it ahead to Scott. Scott over to Russell. Russell for the layup.
Nice
and in.
layup.
That's the way you run a fast break. DJ Isles pitching ahead, and Nathan Scott finding his
like
teammate.
A practice section right there is what that looked like.
DJ Isles' hands have to be underrated. This young man, he gets his hands on all kinds of basketballs, whether he's stealing it or creating the steal. The young man, he really is.
Well, Jones went to steal it, and the ball was already coming loose.
DJ already had it in his possession. Kenny driving baseline, in trouble, finds a man, got it to the corner, and it's going to be Barkley for 3, and he misses it. Nathan Scott with the rebound. And they get it to Isles, and Isles is going to slow it down there a little bit.
Watch Kenny when they get the ball. He's very pushy, and so far they're letting him get by with it. I don't know if they'll ever start calling it on him or not.
Russell with the ball at the top of the key. He's going to pitch it into Nathan Scott. Turn around, a little one-handed running jumper, and he gets fouled.
By 24.
And again, Dakota Barkley on the foul there. I believe that is his second foul.
It is. Are you keeping score since the second half?
So Scott will be here at the free throw line, shooting the first, and it is in and out. And Scott, normally a really good shooter, just misses that one. As you said, just pushed it a little bit. So Quakers bringing some almost wholesale changes, and if Scott makes this free throw, will be wholesale changes. We now have Peyton Smith, Will Patrick, G.C. Mercer, Kevin Lewis all on the court, and Colin Myers getting ready to check in. And Scott puts the second one in, and Myers will be coming in for Scott. So the Quakers able to be deep and go deep into that bench. And Coach Hunt is going to have a 30-second timeout right here, and that will send us to our sponsors.
Well, see, this is one thing you can do. Rest them. Now you can rest starters.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
So Defiance inbounds the basketball in the forecourt. 16:22 left in the half, 59-37.
Here comes the ball.
The ball's tipped out. Mercer able to grab it. He pitches it ahead to Patrick. Patrick being under control now with the ball at the top of the key, picks up his dribble, and gives it to Peyton Scott. Peyton Scott now in attack mode, pitches it around to Patrick and then to Lewis. Lewis to Mercer. And again, the Quakers running that motion offense. A little ball screen there for Lewis. Will Patrick gets it back, and there's 10 left on the clock. Peyton Smith with the basketball looking to make something happen, and he's attacking. He gets shut off. Kick it to Colin Myers with 2 on the clock, and he gets up. Right-handed jump shot off the dribble. Nice job by Colin Myers saving that possession for the Quakers.
61-37, nice 24-point lead.
Will Patrick and Myers in the backcourt, and they're trapping, pitching the ball ahead, and it's an attack.
Traveled. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
You know, and sometimes you just get guys excited. You jump at them, and they make them do that, you know. And really, the defender, Lewis, he comes up, and he just gets that guy going a little faster than he wants to go, and he traveled.
Well, the guy's thinking, I'm going to go this way, and all of a sudden the guy jumps, so he goes, okay, I'm going to move this way. Well, he hasn't got his feet, and then boom, it's a travel.
Quakers really moving the ball well with this second unit. Ball over to Peyton Smith. Peyton attacking, kicks it out to Myers. Myers for 2. Rebounded by Lewis off the miss.
Being able to use a lot of clock here.
We're at 15 minutes left here in this half. And a nice little cut by Peyton Smith. Mercer with the basketball being pressured.
Bad
he's
pass.
going to turn it over. And in for the layup and missed the layup.
He was too busy looking over his shoulder.
And Patrick attacking down the court, looking, and now picks up his dribble and pitches it over to Smith. Smith in control and wanting to call something. Good to get a high ball screen here from Mercer. Smith looking to attack.
Nice pass.
Nice feed to Mercer.
Mercer almost was not looking for it. Has he traveled? 3 seconds.
Mercer gets 3 seconds. And Joe, that's one of those calls I don't understand. As long as he has the ball and he's looking for a shot, I didn't think you're able to have.
As long as he's moving toward what could have got him is when he turned away. He turned away for a half second and then went back. That's when you give it, as long as he's going toward the basket. So when he turned away for a half second, that's when he lost his right to keep going.
So Peyton Smith guarding here in the full court, and now Whitney with the little right-handed hook and Mercer with the rebound.
Yeah, they're not taking advantage of when they do get the ball inside. They've got to take advantage of every one of those and make a bucket, and they're not. That's what's killing them right now.
Quakers move the ball around the horn to Myers. Nice cut by
bounce pass.
Smith, and a little over, and
good job.
He is able to save it.
Boy,
Lewis.
it was close.
Now Will Patrick on the move, and he makes a pass stolen there by 30. Goodrich ahead, and they pass it ahead, and Peyton Smith is going to send Whitney to the line for 2. So this will be Whitney's second opportunity at the free throw line this evening. And that would be the 3rd foul then on Peyton.
Yeah, I was trying to see his name. I didn't see it on there.
Peyton Smith, that is his 3rd foul. And the first one is up and no good from Whitney. Here comes some more Quakers. In Andrew Russell, Mercer and Myers are checking out, and Russell and Scott checking in.
Leaving Peyton in right now.
So Whitney, he will attempt the second free throw.
Well, with the lead you got, you can afford to leave him in.
He misses that. Peyton Smith pitches it ahead to Andrew Russell running the court, and he is going to miss that. Should have been a violation there from slapping the backboard, but Kinney back on the attack. And there's a deep three from Goodrich. He misses it, and Lewis.
Rule, there's no violation for slapping the backboard. I know the high school rule, so.
You cannot slap the backboard to change the trajectory of the shot. And
that's why I said it could be a college
Patrick there misses the three. Smith misses the putback. He tips it away, though, and Will Patrick off and running.
Layup.
Going ahead, going in for the layup, and he is going to put it up and in there. So Patrick with 10 points now on the game.
26-point lead. We got a foul, backcourt foul. Man, you don't need a backcourt foul, guys, when you got this kind of lead.
And Kevin Lewis, that will be his second foul.
Now let them bring the ball up the court, use a lot of clock. There's no reason to get a backcourt foul when you got a 26-point lead. I mean, and that's what happens. Sometimes when you start playing aggressive, which is working, you sometimes take that aggressive too far sometimes.
Got to play aggressive and intelligent at the same time, under control. So Graham, who has been silent here in the second half, he's attacking and he finds Machino. Machino kicks it out, and they have a wide open top of the key
nice
three
shot
there by number 25, Avion Franklin.
Well, I've noticed they've got a couple players that are not the best ball handlers in the world, and when you can put the pressure on them at the right time, that's when they lose the ball.
And Lewis attacking down the lane, and he is able to put up a layup that misses, but he gets fouled and will be headed to the free throw line to shoot two. So I believe that foul is on Franklin there, number 25. That is his first foul.
23-point lead. This can get us back up to 25. Man, when you can see comfortably above 20 points as your clock ticks away. 24.
And as a coach, you're always looking at that score, but at the same time, you don't want your players looking at that score.
Right.
You just want them playing. You don't want them worried about whether it's over, under, etc. You just want them out there playing. It looks like that's what the Quakers are doing.
Yeah, they're playing.
Tonight.
They're not thinking about this. Oh, did he just take a couple steps?
He took a couple steps, but he also then threw the basketball out of bounds. The Quakers, after that free throw, in a 2-2-1 press. And number 35, Elijah Holmes, a freshman guard, just wasn't sure what to do with it and threw it out of bounds. So it'll be the Quakers basketball. He threw it out of bounds, and Coach Hunt was wanting the ball out of bounds underneath. He threw it from out of bounds.
Yeah, but it went out of bounds.
But it went out of bounds.
He was inbounds when he threw it, so it's going to come out over
As
here.
a coach, you always got to try, though, Joe.
Oh,
You
yes.
never know when one of those officials is going to give you what you want. Not very often. And a nice drive there by Will Patrick, in for another two. Will is having a great game today for the Quakers. Again, Quakers back into that 2-2-1 press. Defiance able to get it up the sideline.
You called a foul there?
A little ticky-tack foul there, going to be on Will Patrick, and that will be his third foul. But if you're Coach Hunt, you got 12-14, a 27-point lead, and this is where you let your guy play, I think.
Right, I do too. I let him play out. You got somebody off the bench. You know, I mean, if you were getting down, if this was 14-point lead, 12-point lead, I'd be a little more concerned. Because that can happen, Chip, but ooh, nope. He didn't have control, so that's not a travel. You can't travel if you don't have control.
And Machado attacking there, and Nathan Scott will pick up his fourth foul. And the biggest problem here for the Quakers is, again, in the last minute, just as they did in the first half, they picked up 4 quick fouls.
Yeah.
Now,
He's
again,
coming out.
soon they will be putting them in the bonus if they're able to continue doing that. And Scott just has not been able to get on track offensively because he's had the foul trouble here defensively.
Yes.
And he's kind of got unlucky into a few of those fouls, including
Now, that one right there, that was not, I don't want to say a bad foul on him, but it was an unlucky foul, like you said.
35 there for the
bad
three,
shot.
and he misses.
Good D,
Lewis
good D.
with the rebound, and he is in
Now
attack
take your
mode.
time and kill 7 points, or time off this clock, guys.
Peyton Smith gathers and runs the offense. Russell with the ball at the top of the key, swinging it around to Patrick. Again, the Quakers doing a nice job of running their stuff, getting under 12, and a little step back three from Patrick.
Russell going to get Russell with a foul. Well, I saw 2 or 3 of those the first half on the other team, not called, and now we're going to get it called here.
That is the first foul on Russell, but again, Joe, we are climbing in just a little over a minute. They are at 5 team fouls. in the last minute they
Right,
picked
with
up 5 team fouls.
11:34, and we already have 5 total team fouls toward the bonus.
Defiance breaking the pressure and going up for a layup and missing the layup.
See, that's
Lewis
where,
with the rebound.
That's where they've been shooting themselves in the foot.
They have not been able to take advantage of those layup opportunities that they've gotten. And again, the Quakers, they want to speed you up and make you play fast.
Right. And if they would have been able to make some of those that they've had, this could be a close game. They just do not make.
And Will Patrick for a deep three, and he misses.
We're
and
doing
Myers,
a better job on getting rebounds on the offensive end than they are.
Myers with that rebound, and they reset. Again, the ball back in Patrick's hand. Patrick looking for attack, a little inside-out dribble, kicks it out to Peyton Smith, and he traveled with the basketball.
27-point lead. That is the highest we've had of the day.
10:51 left in this half. It'll be Defiance's ball.
Bringing new players back
Wilmington
in again.
leading 67-40, and again, the Quakers will go with almost wholesale changes. Number 40, Brandon Cox checking in, the freshman from Goshen, Ohio, for his first action of tonight's game. Myers back in, DJ Isles, Christian Jones,
we got
and
some starters
Jordan
and
Jones.
non-starters back in the game. Oh,
And straight down the lane, but again, unable to take care of it, and Brandon Cox gets himself in the scorebook immediately with a rebound. Christian Jones tried to run into the three and thought better of it. That's where that senior intelligence,
Yes.
he says, we don't need this right now, we need to run a little clock. Myers gets a shot up, Jordan Jones with the rebound, and Jones again.
you got a new clock, so guys,
And right now, if you're Coach Hunt, I think he's wanting layups or run the clock down a little bit and then good shot. And they had a layup opportunity. What a great cut, and just couldn't handle the pass there.
I don't think he saw it coming until too late. He's one of those things like running the play, but it's like, oh, you're really passing it to me.
And unfortunately in that action, DJ Isles is heading out. Looked like he maybe tweaked an ankle.
Ooh.
So Horton, the freshman who got a little playing time in the first half, is getting a second opportunity here for the Quakers.
He's going to go over and ride the bike. I think he'll be okay in a few minutes. Just needing to.
And a deep three from Goodrich misses, and Jordan Jones with a nice rebound, and he's in attack mode, but now again just wisely pulls it back and going to run a little offense. And, you know, right there is one of those things that we talk to our players about all the time, Joe, but a senior, Christian Jones, doing it, steps to the basketball, and because he steps to the basketball in the pass, it's a foul against Defiance instead of a steal and a layup.
Right.
You know, and again, that's one of those senior things.
If you just stand there and wait for the pass to come to you, that's a steal and a layup. Or a foul on you because you're going to be out of position.
One thing they didn't catch with that foul was they never reset the shot clock. It stayed at 22, so the Quakers already down to 14 in the possession. Kick back out to Horton. Horton attacking down the middle, stops on a dime, spins, and then his jump shot is off. Goodrich with the rebound. And they pitch the ball ahead to the corner. And there's that man, 25, attacking the basket. Number 5, Whitney with the ball. Nice pivots and does a good job of finishing over Cox for 2. Jordan Jones with the basketball. Quakers running a little bit of their action, and he throws the basketball in. And they're going to call a foul on Cox from behind there. And again, now the next foul will put the Yellow Jackets in the bonus. With 9:13 left, Joe, the Wilmington Quakers, the Fighting Quakers, have 67. The Defiance Yellow Jackets, 42. Yeah. Coach Hunt and Coach Mills, they've done a really nice job with this game plan. We're going to go to a timeout here real quick. We're going to go to a word from our sponsors, and when we get back, we'll talk about that.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest-growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
106.9 WZAA LP, Jeffersonville.
And we're back.
And Defiance basketball. Graham handling the basketball, moving the ball around to McClure. McClure looking inside to Whitney. Whitney looking to be on the attack, and he gets straight to the basket, but he gets it tipped out of bounds by Jalen Horton.
Even
So
though it
it'd
was
be
tipped, I thought he still had contact as he went like that. So, but they're giving it to him.
And it'll be out of bounds underneath here.
Wilmington's make them use a lot of clock too. They're
Yes.
the ones wanting to should go down and go fast, and they're using more clock than Wilmington is in a way.
That ball rolled off the top of the backboard
He's saying
and
it
then
hit
fell
the-
in, and the official has correctly waved it off because it touched that top back. But
bar.
he will be going to the free throw line to shoot 2.
The top of the backboard itself is in play, but he's saying it as it rolled across, it hit the brace bar up there, and then that's what fell through. Now they're discussing it. Another official coming over just saying what he saw.
And I don't think that they're going to be able to overrule this one because he was emphatic that
Well,
the ball touched that top.
And the one that has the call is the.
And now
the
he is
change.
going to count it.
Count it. He has the one that made the call is the one that has the call. This one, technically, he can see it, but the other one has it. If he calls it, now KC's going to give his opinion.
And so now Goodrich will get the bucket, and he is to the free throw line to shoot 1, and it is up and good. So trimming into that Quakers lead, now just a 22-point lead with 8:50 left. Wilmington coming down, going to run a little offense here with Horton at the point. Moves it around from Christian Jones to Jordan Jones. Back to Brandon Cox, getting some valuable playing time here, the freshman. Horton with the basketball, and he is shifty and under control with the ball. He's going to get a step back 3, and it just off the left side of the rim. And we are going to stay here with a foul on Whitney on the rebounding. Brandon Cox did a really nice job of boxing out. And so it'll be out of bounds underneath for the Quakers. And Russell will check in from Brandon Cox. Some nice minutes there for the freshman post player. Good opportunity for him to get a little run and get some game time.
And a new shot clock, and hopefully they'll use it wisely and use some clock off that shot clock.
Quakers out of bounds underneath. They're going to throw it into Russell. Jones down, looking to come off some screens, and he's able to come out and get the basketball. And Jones with the relaxed defender shoots a 3. And Jordan Jones.
Shot clock again.
That has to be at least the 3rd or 4th offensive rebound Jordan Jones has come from all the way across the other side of the court to get. Nice play from the senior. Kicks it down to Russell,
nice
and
shot.
Russell just misses. Jordan Jones, again, if he wouldn't have tripped there, he would have probably got a 2nd offensive rebound on that possession. Defiance bringing the ball back up. Goodrich looking to attack. And Jones, again, playing some nice defense. Jordan Jones has had a quiet game, but a solid game.
Is not for a guy not been getting a lot of playing time, has been doing a good job on defense here.
So under 10 seconds with the Yellow Jackets with the ball. Horton able
Horton
to tip it
almost
away,
goal.
and Goodrich from way back,
Airball.
all the way from the Risk on Fred Risk Arena. And he airballs it.
That was a risky shot, huh?
That was a risky shot, that's for sure. So Horton is going to check out, and Will Patrick checks in for the Quakers. And Will has been an offensive star so far tonight. I believe he has 12. Jones playing the point for the Quakers here. Isles might be done for the evening after tweaking that ankle a little bit.
He's still
And
riding
with-
the bike.
and with
but
the big lead.
There's no need to put him back in, take a shot at aggravating it.
Patrick attacking down the
That's
lane, and he
defense.
gets hit on the move and unable to make the shot, but he will go to the free throw line for 2. But, Joe, going back to that point, DJ, he's over there warming up on the bike, but the goal, I'm sure, is let's keep this a big lead and not have to use him.
Right.
So
That's what I'm saying. If you don't have to use him, and, when you got an ankle tweak, sometimes you go put him back out there and you start running, and then if he sort of turns it just a hair going in for a drive or defense, now it may tweak worse. And now you may have to set him out the next game, or maybe he's not as effective the next game. So the best thing to do here is just, if you don't need him, let's rest him and bring him back healthy.
And with a big conference game coming up, the conference opener on Saturday, Quakers want to be at full stride. Patrick made the first, and he is short on the
Thought he
second.
got a roll, but he didn't.
So with 7:15 left, the Quakers lead 68-45.
23-point lead.
Graham, who has been shut out here in the second half, pitches to Kinney, who's also been shut out here in the second half. Over to Barkley. Barkley for
Bad
a deep
shot.
3, but it gets tipped by Christian Jones.
Whoa.
And Will Patrick almost turns it over. But Peyton Smith and Andrew Russell able to corral it. Smith into the front
both thought
court.
he was tipping it back to the other guy, and nobody was there.
Jones attacking, kicking it out, and
nice
a nice
pass.
find by Peyton Smith, and Myers unable to finish
But that
at
was a
the
good
rim.
pass inside.
Kenny here, and he has got one-on-one and on the attack, and that is where he wants to be, and he's unable to get the roll.
Nice
Barkley
block,
with the rebound,
Russell.
but rejected by Russell.
He does a good job of blocking without foul. I mean, just an excellent job. He's a good blocker.
Russell now setting the ball screen for Jones. Jones kicking it back to Russell, tipped away and picked up by Avion Franklin. Franklin ahead to Graham. Graham attacking and unable to get the roll, and I believe that will be the 4th foul on Peyton Smith.
Yep. And I wouldn't be worried on that. And I thought that was a tacky foul right there myself. But
well, when you are the aggressor, you do get foul calls, and Graham, for the first time really in this half, was the aggressive player there. Graham had a really nice first half, and just unfortunately for Defiance has not been able to get going here early in the second.
No.
But he knocks down the first free throw, giving the Yellow Jackets 46 points on the evening.
Christian Jones going out for Wilmington.
Christian Jones out, Kevin Lewis back in. And Graham with the second, and he
Nice
misses,
up.
and Peyton Smith goes
get up,
side
can he?
for the rebound.
Woo!
Yes, he can. So Smith brings it up and moves it around to Lewis. Lewis back to Patrick. Back to Lewis.
I don't know what his height is, but he doesn't look real tall, but it looks like his elbow is on that on that rim.
Lewis for 3, and he is able to knock it down.
Comes in the game, makes a quick bucket. That's good.
Instant offense for the Quakers bench tonight, with Lewis and Patrick providing quite a spark, as well as Colin Myers.
And nice
there,
block.
Lewis with the block. And we have a run-out opportunity. Will Patrick behind, going up for the layup, and in with a nice little lefty layup.
27-point lead. 27-point lead.
And another tip from behind from the Quakers, but Graham is able to corral it, and he's going to get it ahead to Cohen Knees, and he is able to finish that bucket for 2.
Well, like I said, we had a 17-point lead at halftime. We quickly got it up to 23, and we've never been below that, I don't think, since that time.
And a nice pitch to the right, and missed the 3 by Andrew Russell, and a putback by Colin Myers does not go either. Defiance again, Graham back on the attack, and he pulls up from 15 and is long. Colin Myers with the rebound. And now Coach Hunt says, let's just run a little bit of our offense. Let's move the basketball. Let's take some time off the clock.
We're going to call a timeout.
Brings it up and calls a timeout. So, again, the Quakers leading 73-48 with 4:53 left. We'll be back after a word from our
Begin
sponsor.
the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest-growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
And again, we're back, 4:53 left here in the contest. Wilmington leading 73-48 over the Defiance Yellow Jackets. And Joe, really the pace of the basketball game has been in favor of the Quakers the whole game. And even though Defiance early on was able to attack, as you mentioned, they have been unable to finish at the rim. Right. And the Quakers, led by Andrew Russell with several blocks, but also Kevin Lewis, Peyton Smith, and a few other guys that got in on the act.
Yes.
Really turning back those Defiance Yellow Jackets at the basket, at the rim, and making it tough for them to finish around the rim as well.
And you mentioned before the game, the other team was taller than Wilmington, but Wilmington has got more second chance shots than Defiance has in this game.
And the biggest thing there is, as you mentioned earlier, fundamentals, being active, boxing out. But the Quakers team, they just never stop. And if you ever come watch a Coach Hunt practice, you will understand why they never stop, because he never stops. Active all the time.
When he takes his one unit out, puts the next unit in, you didn't see that change in score. I mean,
no
the
letdown.
And
they really have in this young season. They've got a couple guys coming off the bench that are really scoring well. Which, when not only do you bring in that defensive energy, but now you got guys that are able to score the ball off the bench. That really gives you an injection.
If you're Defiance or a team, let's say, getting ready to play Wilmington, you can't say, well, let's get this guy out of the game and we can. There's nobody to pull out of the game. That you want to foul out of the game or something to where or take out of the game in a way defensively. Wilmington has too many guys to go to. There's no one guy to lean on.
And Patrick misses a little fadeaway jumper toward the end of the shot clock. Rebounded there by Defiance.
Ooh.
And almost a near steal by Peyton Smith. A nice little kick out and the ball into Nyes. Nyes getting doubled and Kevin Lewis with the tip.
Another.
Unable to corral it. A kick to the corner to Barkley for 3, and he is long. But number
nice shot.
13, Javon Thomason with the putback. A nice left-handed little shot there. And right there, we were talking about how the Quakers have been active. The Defiance Yellow Jackets were extremely active on that possession on the board.
So Wilmington did a good job defensively. They almost had a couple steals, almost got the ball back. But they forced them to also to use almost the entire shot clock to get that score
And
off.
a nice little left-handed drive and pull-up jumper from Kevin Lewis there
25 points.
to extend the lead again.
75.
Quakers playing defense.
Ooh.
And there again, a nice
Bodies.
little lefty runner
Thought he traveled, but
from Javon Thomason. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, but it sure doesn't look like it.
which one's that?
Quakers ball, moving the basketball around. Smith has it in the corner, working a little clock. Scott back in.
Thomason,
Been
I would
saddled
say.
with foul trouble all day. Takes a kind of wild shot and unable to finish. And Defiance with the rebound and attacking now,
and
and
threw
they
it away.
throw it away.
Unforced error. That's what. Because I mean, they were a little pressure, but nobody was pressuring him that tight that he had to make that bad a pass. I mean, he just grabbed it and then hurried the pass.
And so another freshman
I don't
post
know how you
player
even pronounce
for
it, but I
Connor
say Thomason.
Thomason. Connor Custenborder, number 44, checking into the game.
Just Thomason.
He's from Versailles, Ohio, for the Defiance Yellow Jackets. Smith moving the basketball, and he
nice
found
look.
G. Mercer underneath for a nice assist by Peyton Smith and a nice finish by Mercer.
Back up to 25 points. Like I said, 253, 25-point lead. The win is not the what's on everybody's mind now. It's by how much.
And
they're not giving up.
Barkley attacking. Barkley unable to get the shot, and it hit the side of the backboard.
Said it was blocked.
But they're saying
Nope.
no block.
He did a good job. He called it thinking it was blocked. Then he looks at this official saying, was that blocked? And he goes, no. Then he goes this. Because he's not looking up, and that's what. He's not supposed to look up. And he did a good job.
So it'll be a Quakers ball with 2:38 here left in the game. Again, leading by 25, 77-52. Smith bringing the ball up the court. Mercer coming to set a ball screen. And Smith attacking, kicking. Kevin Lewis for 3, and it is good.
28-point lead. Now the question, can they get to 30? We've not 28. This is the biggest lead we've had of the night, 28 points. Can they get to 30?
And, Joe, that may be your concern, but Coach Hunt's concern is can we get those last 2:12 off the clock? Because it can't go quick enough. A wild shot there by Hayes, and Mercer tips it 3 times, brings it down, and throws it ahead to Horton.
That's what the fans are thinking right now. The fans are thinking 30 points.
And Horton going to get called for an offensive foul there. I didn't see what happened.
I didn't know if it was him, or it could have been him, or it could have been on the screen, somebody screening for him to get him open right there.
We have a substitution here for the Quaker, number 34, Aaron Mullins, into the game.
Russell came back in.
And Brandon Cox back into the game here, number 40 as well.
Mercer went out for
and number 23, Cameron Culp, another freshman into the game for the Quakers. So the Quakers getting a chance to empty their bench.
All right, and
Barkley with the little floater, gets his own rebound, puts it back, and he gets fouled. He will go to the free throw line.
I will say this for Wilmington, with a big lead, they're not just setting back. They're playing just like it's 0-0 right now. And Defiance really hasn't gave up. Just Wilmington's overpowering them, but they're hustling.
And the first one is up, and it rolls in.
Like
he used
pinball machine there.
Every bit of the iron on that one.
Bing, 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 in.
That's Joe Davis with the sound effects, folks. He'll be here for another 139.
That's what he gets the big bucks for.
That's what I get the big bucks for.
The Bing bucks?
So with 1:39, Barkley with his second free throw, and it is up and no good, and Mullins gets the rebound. Mullins bringing the ball down the court, swings it to Culp. Culp on the attack, kicks it back out, and now Will Hansford is in the game, and he swings it over to
yes!
Mullins.
30-point lead.
Corner three for Aaron Mullins, and the Quakers have it all working tonight. Defiance back on the attack, and they're looking to swing the basketball. Number 13 again. There is Thomason. Misses, but it's long off of Mullins' fingertips, out of bounds, and it'll again be Yellow Jackets' ball.
1:08 left in the game.
Barkley on the attack, and he is able to get up and lay it in.
They got it back to 28, but Wilmington already broke the 30 points, so that was their goal. It's like don't make it 200.
William Hansford on the attack, and
Back to
he is
30.
able to put that little lefty runner in there for Will.
This is what you like to see when the guys that don't get to play a lot in the game and forcing the action, scoring. Ooh, nice steal.
A strip away again there by Mullins. He's been very active. Swings back misses the layup there by Culp.
Very unselfish, did the feed away. Hey, you pass me, I'll give it back to you, and just lost it.
And a rebound there by Thomason. So
25 seconds left.
And Coach Hunt just telling him to pull it out, and it gets tipped away there. Mullins will grab it in the back court and bring it into the front court.
They don't have to shoot.
So I think, Joe, even though you've been worried about it, I think Coach Hunt is okay with that 28-point win instead of a 30.
I was
and Mullins with a wild shot there at the end. I don't think necessary.
I'm looking from when a game was out of hand, it's like, okay, let's look for something else and look forward to. So the fans are at 30,
Well, Wilmington Quaker fans, they can go home happy tonight in a packed gym here in Herman Court.
Nice crowd here tonight, yes.
85-57 for the Quakers. Wilmington winning by 28 points over the Defiance Yellow Jackets. That puts Wilmington at 3-2 on the season, moving Defiance to 2-3 on this young season. And Wilmington, that's a good win for them, a solid win for them, and they've got to be excited heading into conference play on Saturday versus the Mount Union Purple Raiders here at home.
And I can't say anything about Defiance or what kind of team they brought tonight, but I can tell the people who are listening, Wilmington, if you want to see a good ball game, no matter who Wilmington plays this year, I don't care how good the other team is, you're going to see a good ball game with Wilmington playing against them. Wilmington is not going to give you a very bad game. They may lose some games, but if they do, they're going to go down fighting because
they're going to play hard. Coach Hunt has them playing hard and playing well, and to speak to Defiance, they played extremely hard all game. Things didn't necessarily go their way, but they never gave up, and they're also a well-coached team there. Scott Cutter doing a good job in his third year there.
It's a young team from what I saw here.
It's a very young team.
I saw one senior right here. Jonathan Ragland was the only. And then you got freshman, senior, junior, sophomore.
Kinney and Graham did a good job. Those are both freshman guards for them that were attacking, nonstop attacking.
Sophomore.
And really made them a tough basketball team to handle. And even though the score was 28, it was still a basketball game well into the second half. But Wilmington did a good job at the beginning of that half, really saying, hey, we're going to set the tone. We went from 17 to 23 immediately, and the Quakers made sure that, hey, we're going to win this half. We're going to take care of business. We're going to make sure that you have no hope here to begin this second half, as you mentioned.
Wilmington won the first half by 17, and then they won the second half by 11. Mm-hmm. So, basically that's what, as a coach, you have to do for it. It's not, okay, we want to win the game, but they won both halves. It's not like, okay, we won the first half by 17. And they won the second half by 12, but we still won the game. Well, then that means you really did some things wrong in that second half. You don't see a lot of what Wilmington did wrong. They did a lot of right things in this game, both halves.
And when you check kids in, it's important that those kids still play the way you play it. And I think Coach Hunt has to go happy because when he checked those other guys in, not only do they have that really dangerous second unit, the guys beyond that second unit really played well.
Yes.
And so that second unit that I would venture to say is one of the more dangerous second units around. But the other guys past that, they played extremely well as well. And that's got to make you happy as a coach when you go home and you say, man, we put in a total effort, not only playing hard, but also playing well and doing the things that we wanted to do. And you always feel good when you're able to accomplish that goal of doing what you wanted to do,
And just going on for what you said, what was really good about this game was the fact that when you said he put that extra unit in, and they did well. Well, that gives them confidence, gives him confidence in them, and later in the season, he may need some of those guys for, in a tough, rough, close game. And he has the confidence to put them in. They have the confidence they can do something. Plus, they've had not only confidence, but when you're playing, you get some more playing time, then you are going to play better. And the whole thing looks good there.
One of the best ways to learn is to get an opportunity to actually do it. And the Quakers, they were able to give a lot of guys a little opportunity to play. Brandon Cox coming off the bench had an opportunity to get some playing time. Mullins there at the end hit a nice three.
Oh, yes.
Cameron Culp got a little playing time. Jordan Horton, several of those guys right
Colin
there
Myers
at the end.
I thought was playing some decent defense there at the end. I don't know if he scored
he
very
has
much,
worked his way into that rotation, that freshman Colin Myers that you just mentioned, and he has been playing really well for the Quakers. Had a double-digit game a week ago, and had a really nice beginning to the season. I haven't got a chance to watch him play other than today, but have been watching their box scores. Obviously, when the Quakers play, no matter what sport it is, I'm going to be watching those box scores and rooting for Wilmington. And been good to see that they've been able to get off to some great starts. Had a phenomenal game, and you said that they've been exciting to watch.
Yes.
The opening night, Wilmington goes down to Thomas More, and they are able to win in double overtime. And I think that set the tone for this season. And last year they had a lot of close games and lost a few of those close games. Setting the tone, winning a close game early, they're off to a nice start, 3-2 on the season, and the Quakers playing really well. Had a great game tonight. I think our star of the game this evening, I would have to say, would either be Christian Jones or Will Patrick. I tell you what, Will Patrick, he put in a lot of threes. He was attacking, and then Kevin Lewis.
I think also Andrew Russell with those blocks and then some offensive plays there. I mean, it's hard to really.
We need multiple stars, don't we, tonight, the way that they played. And when you play really well, that's exactly what you have, is you don't just have one guy. We opened the show, Joe, talking about the balanced attack that Wilmington has. And really, we're ended it talking about the stars of the game being multiple guys.
In this game, you can talk about, when you're just talking about stars, you got offensive stars and you've got defensive stars. Russell was a star on both ends a lot because how many block shots did he have? A lot, and we may have missed a couple. And then on top of that, plus, as I mentioned before, when he beat a guy going down the lane for looks like going to be a fast break, he came over and stood his ground and did a great job of defense. Didn't just throw his arm out there, forced them back out, and then they missed the shot to grab the rebound and go down. He did and on defense, guys are unnoticed a lot of times when they do a good job because you're looking at the other team doing a bad job. You're forgetting it's because your team your player or somebody did a good job. So there was a lot of guys that did defense and offense.
Jordan Jones fits exactly that description that you just had. Jordan Jones played a great basketball game.
Yes.
It may not show up stat-wise with points. He only had a few points, but he did a great job not only rebounding the basketball offensively, but he played solid defense.
A lot of steals.
Good job of locking people down, and even some of the steals that he didn't get, he tipped or forced and made things happen. So he had a really nice game.
Was it when the Will Patrick that went out with the 2 fouls early?
He went out with the 2 fouls early.
Okay, who came in for him immediately?
Well, Will's part of that bench bunch that has really been active and aggressive, but Jordan Jones came back in and really studied the ship there after. Yes. But Will had an explosive few minutes there to begin the basketball game. I think he had 8 right away upon checking in, but then got the 2 fouls.
I think a player that came in late that I think toward the end got a lot of hustle, did a lot of great things. As a freshman was, Jalen Horton. Horton, or Jaron Horton. What is his name?
Jalen.
Jalen Horton. He's not a starter. He's not going to be a starter right now, but he did a lot of good things out there and a lot of hustle things. And when you got guys on the bench that can come out and do that late in the game for you, it just makes your team much more stronger.
Absolutely, and he is going to be a solid point guard in the future, already doing a good job as a freshman, getting some playing time here.
I tell you one thing Wilmington College has, and they're lucky to have right now, they have 2 great head coaches. I can't say much for the assistant coaches for the teams.
Well, I don't know. Micah Mills is a pretty good assistant coach for the men's basketball team. So I got to give Micah some props. The women's coach, he's not very good.
We're
Here
not
comes
sure about
Micah
him.
as we speak.
The new coach for women's, the girl that played basketball for you guys last year,
Mary Moyer. She does a good job as well.
She does a good job as an assistant coach.
All right.
What do you say, Rick?
Well,
Rick,
I think we are going to sign off here.
Head coach and assistant coach are doing well. The head coach for the girls is doing it. What do you think about the assistant coach for the girls?
I don't know. You'd have to ask our play-by-play.
What he thinks. What's your opinion of the assistant coach?
Well, I'm not sure, Joe. I think he does okay. He does good enough.
He does all right.
He does good enough to be still on the staff for now. So, well, Joe, it's been a pleasure.
Jerry brought you back, so he must have liked you, huh?
He must have liked me a little bit. It's been a
nice
pleasure
working with you. You did a great job today. Let me just sit here and enjoy the game and chime in now and then. I hope I didn't step on your toes too many times. I like to, when I see something, I like to talk about it real quick. But but you do a great job of play-by-play, so it was great. So anyway, tonight, great game for tonight. Final score was, you remember? Nobody remembers. 85-57. I knew what the score difference was, but 85-57. Wilmington College wins. They are now 3-2. Thank you very much. WZAA and Campus Nation signing off.